Somehow this tripod I'm using seems to make everything look smaller in comparison, so I come off like from a distance, whereas the old one I had to be very close if I wanted to talk.
CTKaraoke, the gaming channel.
Hi guys, it is Monday vlogging day. I'm CTK or Corey, you can call me by either, and obviously we needed a new change of scenery. I was tired of that yellow tinted, so instead we're in my dining room. It's not a permanent thing, I just felt like we should change it up a bit because I don't want to be in the same little corner spot where everything looks really yellow. I'm sure you will understand in the long run because it pisses me off a lot. Here's the thing people keep asking me again and again. How am I good at rhythm games? How do I understand a dance move? How do I hit to the beat of the note? How do I understand what the music and the notes are going on in the same order? And why is there 10,000 rainbow Skittles coming up and flying across the screen? And there's too many buttons and dance moves and this and this and this. I get it. Which is why I've come up with an all-in-one guide on how to get better at rhythm games. I want you to keep in mind two things before I start. One is that this is not just tips from me, this is tips from people I've asked of Just Dance, of Dance Central, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, just in general on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites. Remember that there is no right or wrong way to do this. Everyone learns at their own pace. Just follow along with what I'm saying and you'll understand it very quickly. The one thing that I always notice that rhythm gamers do when they make these guides is that they only focus on specific games rather than rhythm games as a whole, which is what this guide is for. This is to get you into rhythm games in general. First and foremost, what rhythm game are you playing? Are you playing a Western game? Are you playing a Japanese game? Are you playing a game with buttons? Does it use a peripheral? Is it hands-free like the Kinect? Is it a dance pad? Is it turntable, guitar? Is it, I don't know, anything that you could think of, there's a rhythm game for it. So you cannot go wrong. So just pick one that seems like it suits you best, and it could be any of them, and just follow along with it. Remember that games have different learning curves, so what may be easy in one game may not be so easy in another. If you're completely getting into rhythm games at the very beginning, you need to understand rhythm. A majority of rhythm games will have you follow along to a beat, or something along the lines where you have like a little note coming and you have to hit the note at the right time, or a dance move at the right time, or you have to hit something at the right time. It's some type of element that comes in with the theme of the music. It's usually either vocals or drums, guitar, or some instrument. It could be any of them, but you usually are following vocals most of the time. In the case of dancing games, it's usually every fourth note. So every 4 seconds, a new beat, a new beat, a new beat, new beat, over and over and over. And once you've understood the tempo of rhythm as a whole, you'll be able to understand what's coming on screen. However, rhythm games such as Project Diva, Theater Rhythm, and sometimes even Rock Band and Guitar Hero will throw you off guard because they know that once you've learned the tempo of the beat, that your brain's not gonna be able to function quick enough when notes are coming down on screen. So instead, the notes follow a different type of pattern from what's going on in the song. An example I can use completely is Elite Beat Agent's Canned Heat, which you should watch as an example. It throws you off guard with so many different notes that are going way off tempo from the song. If you do need a game to start with, Michael Jackson The Experience on PSP is the way to go. It's only 2 buttons, very easy to understand. You're literally just hitting left and circle. There's no trickety tricks. Remember, you need to breathe because chances are when you're seeing a lot of notes, which it happens to me, it happened to me yesterday when I was playing Project Diva, you're going to get anxious. Your brain is not functioning quickly enough to know what's going on screen and therefore causing anxiety. Your hands may shake, things may fall apart, but it's okay. Because guess what? People mess up all the time and they start over again and they keep doing it until they feel comfortable with it. So remember to breathe before and after a song. It sounds cliche, but people need to do it. If you're using a button scheme, remember that everyone has a different style for it. So what you may hold a guitar a certain way may not be the same as you hold a dance pad a certain way, or you may hold your PSP controller, or Vita controller, or 3DS controller, or any type of controls. They're all different. So look for what works best for you and experiment with it. In the case of Just Dance and Dance Central, remember that it's a dancing game. You don't have to be as fluid. I'm not fluid. Look at my videos. I am not fluid at all. I don't move the way I should, but I do it anyway. Always, 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 always make sure there is a calibration setting. If the game does not have a calibration setting, then you are going to have some trouble. In the case of HD TVs in today's day and age, there is a lag between what is going on screen, what is going on in the music, and what is going on with the notes. All three different things, all coming out in a mix. Make sure you calibrate so that way it kind of syncs them together so you'll know when to hit notes, when to see the notes, and when you're listening to the notes. I've heard some suggestions to wear headphones because it does actually help a lot. It decreases the lag going on. Make sure to do your research before you get a controller. This is an easy mistake that everyone can make. It happens. Sometimes peripherals just kind of fall apart. Even a Kinect can fall apart. You may not know when it's going to happen, but it can happen. Which is why you need to do your research, make sure it works, make sure it has 5 stars on Amazon or eBay or somewhere that has been recommended. This one I can kind of relate to, and I can actually help you out with this one, is to concentrate on studying patterns. Dance Central is literally easy with this because it has a rehearse mode where you can break down the moves one by one, you can slow down the moves, you can go back to a move, and you can skip a move. In the case of a rhythm game that doesn't have a practice mode or any type of practice whatsoever, here's how to get better at them. You have to observe what you're looking at. It may seem like it's very intimidating. Someone may be doing stuff that you don't understand because it's going way too fast. Here's the tip. Slow it down. Slow it down to 25% or even 10% and watch it in incredibly slow motion. Watch the movement. Watch the way someone plays. Watch the way the dancer moves. You'll see that when you're watching in slow motion, you will start to repeat it yourself. And the more you practice on it, keep watching it over and over and over. Once you've hit it at 10% speed, 25% speed, hit to 50% speed, then 75% speed, and then do it at a full speed. And remember, this applies to all rhythm games, not just one rhythm game. This is all of them. All of them will have some type of pattern that you will not understand. But if you're still not getting it, don't be afraid to ask. Ask other people, how did they do it? And watch their movements. Watch how they do it. And the last thing is to practice. Because you won't get better if you don't practice. You have to make some attempt, whether it's a little bit a day or a little bit every few hours. You have to make some attempt for trial and error or you're not going to get any better. And all rhythm gamers will tell you from the very beginning that they did not understand this stuff. When they started playing, they had to learn it the same as everyone else, which is why when gamers say this is too easy, it's a subjective thing. Because remember, everything that's on screen stays the same. It never changes. It's a fixed pattern. Everyone has to learn the same way, the same things, just differently. So just work your way up and soon you'll be able to pull off harder stuff. I still can't for some games, but I keep trying anyway. So work your way up at getting better and eventually you will be able to pull off harder stuff. If it helps, practice with friends because friends make everything better. If you have friends that are playing and they're struggling too, you can help them and vice versa, and everyone gets along and we'll be able to understand this stuff together and you'll be progressing together. And that is all for today. I said a lot, which I hope you took into consideration because I usually don't outright speak like that. But I did it for you guys because I had to be upfront. Thank you guys for watching. I do vlogs every Monday, Let's Plays every Wednesday, and rhythm game videos every Friday. And I will see you guys Wednesday with a Let's Play. Take what I said into consideration and then just watch my videos on Fridays because that's where I get the experience from. So, bye. If you guys need more suggestions on rhythm game tips, leave a comment below and please tell me your own advice. What is advice you can give to other rhythm gamers? I'd love to hear it. We're all in this community together when we're not yelling at each other. So please be helpful, please be kind, and contribute.